It's finally over. Cards Unbound is dead. Hey, how's it going, guys? So if you haven't already heard, the Cards Unbound update is officially being removed from the Paladins game. So today there was a recent update on Paladins from HiRezChris, the new executive producer for Paladins, and he's gone through and given some news on Cards Unbound and the future of Battlegrounds. So before we go straight into the notes, I just want to do a quick shout out to the Paladins subreddit for all of the terrible artworks that have caused this accomplishment, and also to the dev team who have come and gone to fight for this cause. So now let's get straight into it. So starting off with the Cards Unbound, some of the new changes that will be coming shortly back into Paladins, which was previously removed. Competitive and casual will be reunited with the previous system of cards. So legendary cards will now be called talents. Talents will only have a single level. So whereas before legendaries no longer had a power level, that will be reverted, and apparently talents will be unlocked for free by champion levels. So from level 1, 5, 10 and 15. What that means is, I guess you'll start with one legendary or talent card from level 1, and as you progress that character you'll unlock more. All champion cards will now be free, no cost or grind, which is a huge plus to the community. So basically they're going to be keeping the all unlocked cards. So basically all the grinding of the cards will remain so they're keeping the good parts of the Cards Unbound, I guess, with having all the champion cards unlocked. And that will allow everyone to create balanced decks based on the cards that they want, and assigning loadout points as we used to do that in the past prior to OB64. So deck creation will return to a point system where players can distribute 15 points across the 5 cards they select in their loadout. So each champion card will be ranked up to 5 times. So what we had in the past, where you could previously increase the power level of specific cards to focus your abilities on a certain skill set, that will be coming back. So no longer will there be a pay-to-win type strategy where you'd have to purchase these cards with your Radiant chests and with your champion chests. So basically the whole system will get a complete overhaul. I guess that also takes away the daily champion chests that we've been receiving over the last 2 patches. And also it will be affecting the whatever will be coming out of the Radiant chests from now on. I'm not sure what will happen with the Radiant chests now, because I actually had a hoard of about 300 Radiant chests, all from grinding from the very start of Paladins, and I decided to open all of them, and I wasted them all on Cards Unbound. So I'm not sure what the current compensation will be for players who actually purchased a crap load of Radiant chests or champion chests. Hopefully there will be some type of compensation for this. So another new change is talents will not have ranks, as I mentioned, and they won't be included in the loadout point cap. So basically the same as it was before with the legendary cards. Talents and decks will continue to be chosen at the start of the match to allow players to tailor their play styles based on their opponents. So again, same as before. new talents will be added over time and give further varied playstyles. So I guess what they're trying to say here is they could add more legendaries or talent cards to champions, maybe like a 5th one over time, but that's a given. As they do more development, we'll see how that works. Champion masteries will no longer be capped at level 25, so that's an interesting one. Instead they will work similarly to player account leveling, which has no cap. So basically what this is saying is champions won't finish up at level 15, at level 25. So I'm guessing this will also affect the progression of the levels, whereas level 25 had an insane grind. I'm wondering if that will scale down a bit, because it can now go up to an unlimited amount champion leveling. So essentially you could have like for example, a Mave at level 99 or level 200, whatever. So next one, we have card chests being removed from the game. Card chest, I'm assuming they're talking about the champion chests there. We are evaluating the best options to compensate players for their previously earned cards. So yeah, so they've taken some acknowledgement that the players have purchased a lot of these chests. In a way, it's kind of almost like Cards Unbound was put in place for veteran players to burn through all of their Radiant chests, and I guess make some extra, it's kind of like what they did with the gold drain, I guess. So while we're on the topic of Cards Unbound, there's a few points that I wanted to make about this. It's going to have a massive repercussion throughout the whole system, essentially changing all of the queues, whereas the queues were now split from Unbound and Bound modes, and all of the changes on OB66 will basically be affected. Even the changes to Battlegrounds will be affected, but I'm not sure how Battlegrounds will work now, because Cards Unbound was heavily influencing the Battlegrounds looting system. So the looting system, for example, the cards had power levels based on the rarity of the card shrines that you received. So that will completely change, possibly, or they might just remove the abilities. But I'll discuss that further when we talk about the changes to Battlegrounds, which will probably be completely affecting the standalone game. Another repercussion of removing Cards Unbound, so I'm guessing the casual and ranked will be completely reverted to the old system. So that will allow players to bring back their own loadouts as they were. So you could power up in certain abilities, and no longer there will be a balance for all cards at level 4, which was a terrible idea to begin with. What will be interesting to see with Cards Unbound being completely removed from the game is how they're going to handle the new grind. What will we be grinding for, basically, and not only what will we be grinding for, but how they will implement the new chests, and will it be all visual, which is something that all the players have been asking for visual skins instead of pay-to-win tactics. But so far, based on what they've said from Cards Unbound, everything's being reverted to the way it was, which everyone has been fighting for. And the only thing that seems to have stayed is having all the champion cards unlocked. So with all the cards unlocked, who knows at this point what exactly we'll be grinding for, if everything's going to be unlocked except for skins. Okay, so moving on, they've also made some changes to the Battlegrounds, how it's going to work. So as you guys know, Battlegrounds was recently released in OB66, and that was the main feature of OB66. So one day later, after release, it seems that they've done a complete 360, and they've basically decided to do a 360 on what they initially planned for Battlegrounds, which was to have it as a game mode within Paladins, and that was something they've been marketing for a while. And now they've decided to release it as a standalone game. So at this point in time, apparently the version of Battlegrounds as it exists in OB66 is being removed effective immediately from tomorrow. So over the next few weeks they're going to make aggressive changes to the game mode with internal testing, and apparently the code name for this will be YOLO. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see, I'm guessing the next time we see it again, which will be in a few weeks or a month or so, it'll be quite different once again. And based on the feedback and the gameplay that I've played on Battlegrounds, it seems to run pretty well, but at the same time it does feel quite like an alpha, and there's a lot more development or improvements that could be made to the game to make it a solid battle royale type genre game. So they said when they re-release the game, it will be in a brand new standalone client. So it'll be launched as a brand new game rather than a game mode of Paladins. So what this is going to mean for everyone, it does sound kind of bad, like potentially, hopefully they keep the pay to win tactics out of here, but essentially I'm thinking they're going to be using this as their new strategy to bring to sell new skins and things like that. So hopefully they do similar to Fortnite, where they keep everything balanced in terms of the game, and they don't have anything like cards Unbound implemented in future. Hopefully they're just going to try and sell some awesome skins and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is going to be a standalone game. So what this is going to mean for current players is possibly that nothing will carry over into this new game. But at this point we don't know for sure what needs to actually carry over. Maybe they won't have a similar card system, maybe it will just be all similar to Fortnite, where it's just you collect cards and things like that in game, and there's no leveling up kind of thing like a card system. But we'll have to see. So because it's going to be a separate client and separate game, I'm guessing none of the two will interact with each other. So that's going to have, it seems like it might be negative thing for players, and it could be, as I mentioned, a strategy for them to make some money out of it. But at the same time, it does sound good, but we'll have to see what they do with it.
In 15 seconds.
This also means that it's going to be completely separate from on the console version as well, so I guess that will come out as a new game, most likely free to play as well. So with it being standalone, that also means that none of the skins that you've purchased or cards that you've unlocked, etc., will probably be carrying over to the new Battlegrounds standalone game. It seems what they've found while developing Battlegrounds is that what initially they wanted to combine both Paladins, normal Paladins as in Siege mode, and their Battlegrounds mode, they've found game design issues with them, and that's probably going to be the number one cause of having to separate the two. My personal preference would have been if they kept the two in one client rather than keep it separate. That way we can carry across all of our skins and everything we've earned in the original Paladins game modes. But we'll have to see what they do with it once it finally releases again for the third time, I think now. Yeah, so... But having said that, it's great that they've finally decided to pull everything out of the game with cards Unbound and fix up Battlegrounds. It's going to be good for everyone. So it's really positive that they've listened to the community and decided to pull a complete 360 on a lot of the issues, and because of the amount of work that they've put in to put cards Unbound in the first place, I guess maybe they were holding off trying to take it out of the game. And it's probably taken a lot of work to do all of that. And apparently the development team didn't want cards Unbound to begin with. It was mainly pushed into the game by management, but that's all rumors and discussion for another day. So apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more regular Paladins updates as well as console gaming related videos. Once again, it's great that we've finally got this Paladins update. This will hopefully mean an end to all the shitty art as well, and bring back the subreddit back to its glory. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.